We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. So I want to come on and talk about immigration, okay? And the reason why I want to talk about immigration, because ever since Donald Trump has stepped back into the White House, it has been a hot button topic, okay? Now, with the left, it's been a hot button topic because it's just something else to complain about with Donald Trump. We all know the left is full of hypocrisy, all right? Because they had no problem when Obama did it, and we'll touch on that today. But they had no problem when Obama did it, all right? Obama is literally the deporter-in-chief. And people on the right, of course, are standing with Donald Trump, and they're going to defend it. So they're talking about it. And then you have everybody in between. However, I wanted to touch on what's going on right now with immigration. I wanted to touch on what happened in the past because everybody seems to forget. I even want to talk about the stark difference between the left and their Democrats, right? Between an Eric Adams and a Jasmine Crockett, all right? I want to get into everything immigration. But first, let me show you what's going viral because Boston's ICE division is nothing to play with. Watch this.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today, too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
All right, so you guys just saw that. So Boston is not playing with these illegal immigrants that are committing crimes, okay? Like, why would you come to another country where you have a chance to do something with yourself and still commit these crimes? I don't know. And I guess for the last 4 years, they have felt so emboldened because nobody was checking them, but they're getting checked now. Just take the Haitian guy, right? Talking about F Trump and shout out to my bro, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you to Obama. First of all, maybe Joe Biden, but Obama, he would have deported you too. However, I digress because I want to move on to Jasmine Crockett. We don't really fool with Jasmine Crockett over here at the Red Cup because Jasmine Crockett is all for these illegals. She fights day in and day out for people that are here illegally and never even fight for her own citizens this way. I want you guys to hear the rant that Jasmine Crockett went on when talking about how immigrants aren't the ones committing the crimes, all right? And we are just racist. even if you're not white. Watch this.
As one of the few people sitting on the dais who actually practice criminal law in the state of Texas, as well as I'm licensed in Arkansas and practice there, as well as federal courts, one of the things that you said earlier, Mr. Beer, really stuck with me, is that there are already laws on the books as it relates to those violent criminals. And I know this because even though I hail from the great city of Dallas, I can tell you that when someone would come in and they were being held in custody for, say, a crime, they also had an ICE hold, okay? And that was for those that had maybe been deported before and had re-entered illegally and things like that. And so no matter what type of city you're in, I do want to be clear, federal law already, no matter if it's under the Biden administration or if it's under a Republican administration, we all agree that we want to be safe. And I think that's the first premise that we're losing, because there isn't something that is tatted on my head that says that I'm a Democrat and therefore you illegal bad person, don't come for me, go for the ones that have the R's on their forehead. Now,
there is federal law, like she said, that is correct. However, we already see that not only are the states with Democratic governors not following it, the cities that claim themselves to be sanctuary cities are not following it. So yes, technically, you do have a D on your forehead. Pause. You do have that on your forehead because at the end of the day, Jasmine Crockett and others like her harbor immigrants, all right? They don't turn them over. We just saw ICE in Boston, all right? These people had a red flag notice, all right? And the sanctuary city of Boston did not turn them over. And so they had to go do raids.
now let me be clear about this as well, because we've talked about crime and we've talked about fentanyl specifically. And this is also something that I have dealt with, unlike some of my other colleagues. And listen, I'm going to be honest, because I actually want to fix problems. And I actually have a really good senator in Texas. And I'm sure y'all can guess which one is the good one. But let me tell you, if we care about fentanyl, I have multiple bills for that. I started on the state level before everybody started talking about it. And I have federal bills that my senior senator has signed on to. So I welcome my colleagues because I actually want to make sure that my communities are safe. But as we start to talk about crime and statistics, Mr. Beer, I want to play a little game with you. It's called Rhetoric versus Reality.
The last time I did a video on Jasmine Crockett, she was doing the same thing. And she was even talking about how the 4 million brown and black bodies, okay, she did not get the count. She wanted to count immigrants and illegal aliens and all of this stuff so that her district can grow larger, so that the Democrats can have more seats. Like, you can't make this stuff up. She is just a mess right along with the rest of them. All right, just throw them all in a basket. What does Hillary say? Of deplorables.
Immigrants commit more crimes than U.S. citizens.
On a per capita basis?
Rhetoric or reality?
Oh, it is rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record this article, which states that undocumented immigrant offending rate lower than U.S. born citizen rate. And this is from nij.ojp.gov.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. The next one, immigrants are just living off the federal government and contribute nothing.
That would be rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I would ask unanimous consent to enter study that says undocumented immigrants pay almost $100 billion in taxes. This is from the Alabama Reflector.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. My final rhetoric or reality question is immigrants only enter at the southern border.
Rhetoric.
Where did she get this from? Donald Trump has already said that it was the southern border and the northern border with Canada, right? Because that's what he's talking about with the tariffs, all right? With everybody being able to come in, with the fentanyl. What is she talking about? And then with the Haitians, Joe Biden literally flew them over here. Everybody knew this. I've never seen somebody that just refused to actually tell the truth. How do they pay $100 billion in taxes with no social security number? I'll tell you how. They have fake social security numbers, and she knows this. That is another crime, okay? A fake social security number will get an American citizen locked up. You know, in Atlanta, they call them scammers, those people that get fake social security numbers or steal other people's social security numbers, they call those scammers. And those people get locked up. But an illegal immigrant, oh, they're just trying to get a better life. You see how they go so hard for everybody that's not an American citizen.
We have talked again about crime, and there's been this overemphasis on it. And honestly, I can tell you that I don't want anyone to be killed, whether it's here or anywhere else. There is nothing about me as the child of a preacher that makes me say that I want people to die, okay? So I feel as if my colleagues from across the aisle have decided that they are going to make immigrants the boogeyman. It's insanity to me, but they also are showing compassion for victims, which they should, but they have no compassion for people that are contributing to making us great. So interestingly enough, I'm curious to know, Mr. Beer, if you know if immigrants contributed to these particular crimes. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York that killed a number of African Americans as they were trying to shop for groceries. Was the defendant an immigrant in that case? Do you know?
No, he was a U.S. born citizen.
Thank you so much. Charleston, South Carolina, there were Black churchgoers trying to praise the Lord. They were killed. Was that an immigrant that perpetrated that or not?
No, that was a U.S. born citizen.
Thank you so much. Now, coming home to Texas, there was an El Paso shooting. Do you know if that was an immigrant or not?
No, they were targeting immigrants in that case.
In fact, each of these cases, it was white supremacists. And so the last unanimous consent that I'd asked for is this article that states that white supremacists behind over 80% of extremism related U.S. murders in 2022.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
Extremism. We're not talking about that. We're talking about regular people and illegal immigrants. All those people that she's talking about are in jail. They can't do it again, correct? The illegal immigrants that everybody else is talking about have repeatedly offended, okay? The one that killed Lincoln Riley, okay? He not only did stuff in his own country, he came here, went to New York raping people and children, and then killed Lincoln Riley. So what is she talking about? This woman is stupid. All right, so you guys saw that. So you saw the Trump deranged, simple-minded Jasmine Crockett really should be crooked because that woman is all but straight and narrow, crooked as ever, all right? So you saw what she had to say about illegal immigration at the hearing for restoring immigration enforcement. Now, if you didn't see it this week, you should definitely check it out. Eric Adams decided he was going to talk to Tucker Carlson, and I'm surprised, all right? But then again, I'm not surprised because the left doesn't want to expose Joe Biden for what he is. So I understand. Eric Adams sat down with Tucker Carlson to talk about everything. But what I wanted to focus on is what he said about immigration. Watch this.
All these foreign nationals start showing up in New York. They have no money, they have no jobs, they have no place to stay, and you have to deal with them. And the taxpayers here have to deal with them. So you go to Washington. What were those meetings like?
Sharing with them that this was a problem.
Who did you speak to?
I spoke with Julie Chavez, is one of the personnel, Perez, another personnel. I spoke with the president himself. I spoke with the president first. Then the president came here to New York City. The governor and I sat down with the president. And I said, Mr. President, I'm not sure what they're telling you about this problem, but this is a terrible problem that's playing out on the ground, that we need to fix our border and we need to just stop allowing people to come into the country with no destiny. We don't know what we're doing with them. And there was some that were coming here that were almost 6 months to a year, in some cases 2 years, without any work authorization. Like, what do you do with someone that cannot provide for themselves for that long period of time?
Well, what do you do?
We had to house them. We had to feed, clothe, house, educate 40,000 children, hold them into a shelter system, the complete package of what you would do for an adult that can't take care of themselves.
You know how many homeless people sit around in New York? Okay. And I'm not saying that they should take tax dollars and do that with all homeless people, right? But let's just put things in perspective. I'd rather them do it for U.S. citizens, okay, especially the vets. All right, because between DC and New York, there are so many vets that are homeless men that have served this country. And the illegals come over here, and they take over hotels. Like, where do they do this at? Like, they found money for them. They gave them debit cards. They gave them all of this money. I've never seen them do that for American citizens. You can be dead on the street and a New Yorker will walk right over you. But yet they vote on the red carpet for people that came from nowhere.
And so you tell the president and his aides this, and what do they say?
Basically, be a good Democrat, Eric.
Be a good Democrat?
That was the basic overall theme. One of his aides told me that, listen, this is like a gallstone. It'll pass.
It's like a gallstone, it'll pass.
Yes. It'll hurt now, but it'll pass.
Well, you pee it out then.
Right.
Why do you have to?
Well said. So those $6.5 million that I didn't put into housing, I did not put into a senior care. We're getting ready to excuse medical debt for New Yorkers that are dealing with severe medical debt. All of these dollars could have gone into dealing with the long-term fixes that we were projecting to correct.
And did you tell the White House that?
Over and over again, the impact of what these
and they
dollars.
Didn't seem to care at all.
It appears to me that there was a bigger focus on the national election and not what it was doing to the cities.
All right, so you guys just saw that. That was Mayor Eric Adams of New York City talking about the effects of the immigrants just being in New York and how they had to house them and spend so much money. $6.5 billion, okay? However, Democrats don't care about that. They spend their money, this is how they think, they spend their money, which is taxpayer money, on what they want and their projects. Now, last but not least, I couldn't leave without actually showing you the past, okay? Now, everybody's up in arms about Donald Trump and his immigration laws, and oh my God, he has kids in cages, he's separating families, he's going to raid homes. Well, somebody already did this. He was called the deporter-in-chief, Barack Obama, all right? He told people not to come to this country and you would get sent back. Don't believe me? Watch this.
Border Patrol has refused to allow reporters and cameras into facilities where agents are housing hundreds of immigrant children. But today we finally got a look.
The Border Patrol allowed only one video camera into holding centers in Nogales and in McAllen, Texas. It comes out as Border Patrol faces claims of bad conditions for the children. Not in your sides, Craig Smith was able to take his own tour of the Nogales complex, and he joins us live from Nogales.
Guy, a large group of reporters was allowed to come into this facility in Nogales, but under strict ground rules as a condition for entry. No cameras, at least no cameras we control directly, no sound recordings of any sort, and no questions. What we saw does track what we saw in pictures taken in secret days before. Kids in chain link holding areas using foil blankets. The El Salvador government sent a senior official to check on the children from that country.
Naturally, as a government, we're concerned that the minors are being treated this way.
No one suggested it's a great situation, but why did Border Patrol wait so long to offer a look to refute claims of abuse?
But you see what that is, the kids in cages. Now here's Obama talking about don't send your kids. They're going to be sent back, and importantly, they may not make it because they're going to get trafficked or something. Like, they're not staying here. That's exactly what he said.
Our message absolutely is don't send your children unaccompanied on trains or through a bunch of smugglers. We don't even know how many of these kids don't make it and may have been waylaid into sex trafficking or killed because they fell off a train. We have no way of tracking that. So that is our direct message to the families in Central America. Do not send your children to the borders. If they do make it, they'll get sent back. More importantly, they may not make it.
The Democrats and the liberals play a dirty game of, I forgot I said that. All right, you guys just saw that. So here are my thoughts. Let's pour it up. My thoughts are this. People keep saying, have compassion, have compassion, have compassion. We have compassion. However, it cannot be compassion to the expense of yourself, okay? Because at the end of the day, they are draining resources from states, from shelters, from other places that have to deal with American citizens who are in need, all right? There's already strained resources. We're overtaxed. We're underpaid. The property taxes keep going up in all these Democratic states, okay? Food prices have gone up, all of these things. We don't have time to help the world, okay? We are not the world's police. I know Barack Obama and George Bush would have you think we are the world's police and we should be in every country, but we do not do this because we cannot afford it. All right. Joe Biden has spent all his money in Ukraine. We cannot afford it. He can send 800 million over there, but nobody helps out Americans. OK, because the vets in Washington, D.C. sleep outside in the cold every night. So at the end of the day, Jasmine Crockett and the rest of the bald-headed reasoning gang can go ahead and say what they want. This isn't white supremacy's fault. This is bad legislation by Black legislators and white ones, okay? It's called bad policies. It's called the Democratic Party, and it's called enabling the left. You guys get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about all the immigration nonsense, the past, present, and the future, because Donald Trump and ICE are on it. You guys get down in the comments and let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. Peace.